players. You know, it's maybe somehow they can retouch and retap into.
Will they take Kanto away from G2?
Well, after his performance in the last round, maybe. Who knows? Well,
Coastline and Consulate removed. Of course, both these maps were played by these two teams before. Border, Villa, Bank.
Yep. And it's going to be Clubhouse. All right. This is one that we have yet to see Zissou play. Empire's played it once, and they won 7-3 against Chaos. So they have a pretty good Clubhouse, which, I mean, they have a pretty good everything, so that's not a huge surprise there.
Yeah. They even had a pretty good Oregon.
Yeah, they have a pretty good every map, I think. Very, very strong team. 82%. I'm honestly surprised it's not even higher.
Yes,
based off of how things have been going. Like, I mean, not to disparage Zissou, but I would have almost expected single digits percentage for them just because this is Empire we're talking about. And while LFO are up at the top, Empire have been very, very strong for about a season and a half now.
I can't believe we see that logo again.
It's crazy.
I mean, actually, these players, they all, at least the ones that played on Zissou, all have their old Zissou jerseys with them. They're still, I mean, you're not going to just let them go. And they were really nice jerseys, if you remember back in the day.
So
for all the OGs out there.
Right? Save them. Going back to the original team. And Capitao, again, getting the old ban treatment. Not a huge surprise, especially for this map. Will it be Thatcher, though? For the second ban, that'll be interesting. Or a Hard Breacher. One of the two, probably. Maverick it is. So that means we're going to see a lot more Haban Thermite. Probably a bit of redundancy on both, just because without Maverick, you kind of need both to make sure you get hatches in if you need walls. Mirror going, no surprise there. Maybe Echo next, very likely, but you never know. We've had some surprises here. We did have a Jaeger last match, so you never know. I mean, probably Echo.
Hello?
Or Maestro, but...
Why is it now coming up? Guys, come on.
We have to wait. They were unprepared for this. There's the Echo.
At least we'll keep these. The ban phase has been decided, but we'll just have to change things around. Hello.
Yeah.
We're back. I was writing my novel.
Yeah. It's getting there one sentence at a time. It was a dark and stormy match. Right?
My vitality prevailed.
It's on Hereford.
Oh, God, no.
Old Hereford, right? I mean, I'm sure Zissou remembers that.
Yeah, I remember the Shield play on, but with Recruit Shield. Again, we're just going to talk about random stuff because, I mean...
It'll take a second, but...
Maverick was banned on Clubhouse.
Yeah. Luckily, they only have to recreate, the bans and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. It's just 4 clicks.
Yeah, but Maverick being banned is not a huge surprise. Same with Capitao, right? Capitao's been so strong. There's a lot of positions that you can get people out of, especially on this map. Like, hey, someone's playing behind the minibar. Oh, I'll just drop a firebolt on them, regardless of whether it be from above.
I would not like to be firebolted when I'm behind the minibar.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, there's drinks there, but those are also flammable. So
actually, imagine if that
mattered. Yeah. That would be.
We're reinventing the world of video games.
But speaking of fire as well, of course, Maverick also taken out with this torch. So that means Cash Wall there'll be potentially some tricking going on there, as you can't trick Maverick.
At least Thatcher is not banned.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So that means Thatcher is kind of a must pick a lot of the time on this, I would imagine. Although, some people will go without it. Some people will be like, well, it's fine. We'll hit Cash from below if we need to and take out any batteries and deal with any tricking. Yeah, that's a risky proposition, but some people will do it. It's certainly
to each their own, man. Yeah. Like it's current year. We don't do that anymore.
Whatever you guys want to do, but Thatcher banning is certainly not fun to have in play for a lot of these teams, despite it being very popular, especially in Latin America. If I remember correctly, that was where it was like 88% or something ridiculous like that.
Did Liquid? I don't know if Liquid ever played Red Devils. I don't know if that game ever existed or ever happened.
Yeah, that was a nightmare for you. Traumatized.
Yeah, we only have 3 matches for LATAM last time.
Well, I gotta wonder though, are we gonna see a super church heavy match? Because we've seen that, like originally, when we had the buff, everyone wanted to go Cash, and then people were doing Gym as their secondary, and then Church as their third, and then Gym fell off, and Church was the secondary, and then it's really kind of become where most people are doing Church as their primary, but we've actually seen a few teams now doing Jim to start out with as their primary. And maybe not their primary, just their first attempt, the very first round. Because calling it their primary maybe is not really true in that's not their main defense, but it's something they want to try at the beginning. When you know you can potentially lose some of those initial rounds while you're just warming up anyways. But we haven't seen a lot of those be hugely successful either. So Jim has still been a struggle depending on the operator bans. Church has been, pretty successful for defenders more often, whereas Cash seems like teams have kind of figured it out, especially with Maverick in play.
Yeah.
But with Maverick in play, or with Maverick banned, Thatcher's still available. So either way, Cash starts to become still kind of problematic. Thankfully, it looks like we're probably getting back into game. But I got to imagine Church, though, is going to be probably the primary here, as Thatcher doesn't matter as much down there as he does on Cash. So.
Well, one time that, because we're talking about Thatcher and his banning on Clubhouse, Team 1 banned it against NIP on Playday 4 on June 28th. And that was not pretty because it ended up for 5 rounds on the defense for NIP to 4 for Team 1. Again, Clubhouse is the second highest defender-sided map in PL, right after Villa.
I was like, why no Thatcher? 6-pick.
Why not?
I don't know what the point of hiding that is necessarily, but hey, have some fun with 6-pick while you're at it. And Cash to start here, so that's where you definitely need the Thatcher. Now, of course, while we can see the bomb site, they cannot see the opponent's bomb site, and they can only see the operators, and they, of course, can't see the 6th pick that's made. So they are not going to know Thatcher is in play yet, and, of course, they're going to have to drone to find out that it's Cash to start with, but because these two have not played this in Pro League yet, they might not necessarily know what the primary bomb site's going to be, so definitely safer to bring Thatcher. This is not as necessarily as important for downstairs, but definitely important for this wall here. We've seen that the life vest skin on Jaeger. I don't know why it just looks silly. But Joystick back on his good old Jackal. He likes to play on this map especially, but he kind of rotated off a bit to IQ for a while, which I thought he was a bit more successful at. But now that he's rotated back to Jackal a lot of the time, I think he's actually been a lot better at Jackal. He was struggling with Jackal for a while and kind of dying early.
He's had it for a few.
What I wonder though is, has he gone back to the assault rifle instead of the PDW? Because I think he was struggling a bit with the PDW.
Did he? Is he now?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
I think he's stuck on the PDW. He used it. It's here and there for Joystick when it comes to the Jackal. It really depends on how the team really wants to run it.
And the way he plays it, he almost always approaches from the other side, which looks like he's doing this time as well.
Yeah, exactly what's going on here. The double stun, and the Bandit will have to run back, and then free
Eunice.
kill on Eunice.
Come on, Eunice. You know better than that. Well, already in to the office as well, and Bootsy taking a bit of damage from that. Kajeka just waltzes his way on in, and attack is definitely somewhere where Empire shines. They have very, very strong attacks. Assuming Joystick doesn't get himself killed, gets into some tracking as well. Set this up. This is already looking like a pretty Empire round.
Yeah. Well, not too pretty, actually, if you look at it from another perspective. But Bootsy at half HP. Joystick will open up the hole here for rotations and extra angles to be watched by any eventual players from Team Empire. Kajeka go in and open up the wall. You don't have to worry about any bandit tricking, and this is... What? Scyther's already on the site. The Maestro's nowhere near this. Scyther just vaulted in. Shepard one more onto Shate. It leaves 2 alive, and they have to retake the site away from the attackers. They're 5 alive. Empire finally lose a player here at Dan, but Shepard, quick fire onto Slebin, and oh my lord. What was that?
That was Sisu getting rolled hard. That was the Empire we expect, and unfortunately the Zissou we expect at this point. Just not really able to do much to even slow it down. Empire just playing their game. That's what they do. When it comes to attacks especially, they do the attack they want to do, and you're only getting in their way at that point. You're not really doing much to stop them. The one thing you can do to stop Empire is if you can catch a lone player. A lot of times it's going to have to be like with a C4 or something else where you're not peeking them, and get a kill on this lone player that makes the other player that was with him suddenly a lone player, that then you can potentially get a 2 out of it, and that's where you start to win against Empire. But if most of their players are alive, they will cover each other so well and work so well as a team. you're unlikely to be able to penetrate. And so many of their rounds are often won that are flawless rounds. I'm honestly surprised anyone from Empire died that round. We're going to go down to church. They're not going to try cash again yet. Especially after seeing that round, I don't blame them. I probably would not go back to cash after that.
And this is something that you were talking about in the pre-show talk, at least the pre-match talk, is this going to be a heavy on church kind of map?
I think it's going to have to be from Zissou. I mean, unless they're winning it a lot, I think they're going to have to kind of really focus on church. But the real question for me, though, is can Zissou try and do any kind of roam, or is it just going to be turtle every time and then give Empire plenty of time to clear both floors and then just push in? Looks like we do have Shate again on the roaming Maestro on blue stairs for the moment. Something that I have not seen work out so well.
I think it's more of the lurking Maestro. I know there's like, we're arguing semantics at this point. But
oh, well, arguing Eunice being dead first again, certainly not going to happen.
You win that one, friend. Well, Kajeka does.
At least he's taking a bit of damage, though, in the process. So that's something that could be said for them. That could be hatches that could be denied. But Slevin goes next, and that is Goo Mines denied for a good chunk of the round there. It looks like they're going to get more aggressive here rather than less. Throw more bodies at the problem. Probably not the solution, but you never know. Joystick's going to be looking for any footprints, helping clear the top floor quicker. It looked like he was a little indecisive, though.
At this point, you can do whatever you want.
He's just like, who do I kill next?
Jaeger is going to be detected. And as you say, he has gone back to the C7E. Well, pre-firing in the back and no damage done to either Boonsy, Gomfi, or Shate. 2 players on it, and I say that Boonsy is eliminated. Okay, well, he tried to peek against Dan. And there's a second one as well. This Maestro Shate will have to fall back as he's droned out. And the drone is even saved. Empire, just everything going up their side. Shate will be forced back on the site with Gomfi in support to have as many of these punch holes as you'd like. Theory is one thing, but the application, that's the difficult part.
Well, Empire seem to be applying themselves just fine. Joystick does take a bit of damage, but him and Karjeka, I don't think they need HP to get these kills. They're definitely going to go in pretty heavy. Dan already taking control of the main hallway pretty well, opening up the barbed wire as usual. Pressure on this. Now, that's the hole he's got to watch out for, though. This is important. The reinforced wall, of course, going to make it so they can't just enter easily, but drone's going to catch Gomfi, who's already at half health. Shate is going to have to be the one to kind of guard him at this point, as footprints are also coming out, and Thatcher doing his job to help Shepard open this wall. It's going to fall apart quick here for Zissou.
An extra angle being added here for yet another rifle to be locked in. Joystick will find Gomfi. Shate's last alive. Going in for the pistol whip. Oh, man. He stays alive. Shepard finds the kill on Shate. And Empire in complete control. The Russians say das vidanya.
What baffles me is why a team against Empire wouldn't go, you know what, we should run Mute and Mozzie. Deny those drones as much as possible. Because Empire have their attack and the way they do it and the way they want to do it. If you can at least slow down their ability to know whether or not their path is clear, you can slow them down, give yourself some time, give yourself the ability to position a little bit better, maybe even play for some roams, things like that, because you can stop areas where they can't drone at all pretty much between Mute and Mozzie. So continuing to just play operators that are not really doing much for you, like, yeah, Bandit's great and all, oh wait, Thatcher's here, so it's not really useful. Like, unless Thatcher happens to get killed early, the Bandit's not really doing much, and Eunice is the first to die seemingly every time, so they're not really getting much value out of him, so just bring the Mute. Just bring him, and like, stick 2 Mute jammers on those walls so you get the job done, but then you've got 2 extra to combine with a Mozzie. I mean, at this point, I'd take a Mozzie over a Smoke, or even over the Jaeger. He's not really doing a whole lot either, other than Gomfi trying to go for frags with it. I don't know. I mean, obviously I could be armchair quarterback all day about it, but it's just it just seems like a surprise to me not to take advantage of a potential weakness of Empire, and instead just kind of. I mean, I know we talk about trying to play your own game, but playing Zissou's own game hasn't been working for them this season, so maybe they do need to counter-strat a little bit better. Although, I guess counter-stratting Empire hasn't really worked out for most teams.
No, and so. I think that's really the point to bring out with this one. It's definitely a tough fight, no matter how you cut it for Zissou, but there has just not been any repost, any response from Zissou. Yeah, sure, they get some damage done here onto the Habana, but she's not dead. She's still there. Information is continuing to be relayed down the line for Empire, and they know where he's at.
Yep. They're just going to keep him pinned down. The question is, though, are they going to continue to use 2 people to do it for a long period of time? If so, that kind of takes, it gives an advantage to Zissou, really.
Oh, they should know that he's all the way in the back, and the rafters there, the catwalk.
Nope. Unfortunately, Capitao was banned, so it makes it a little bit harder for them to get the drop on him, but they can hit him with a lifeline to stun him a little bit.
Yes, that's true. That is very true. There's still 2 stuns left. You're really unsure. This is why you don't see, the push in yet from Jonas. He comes in, finds 1 kill on Joystick. Finally, Zissou will get something.
Now if he's the first to die on their team, at least he's done something first.
I'm not sure if Jonas is running any Nitro cells in the back. We'll take a look at that in just a second. And Dan will get all the information required as Nitro cell. Yes, indeed. Slebin eliminated here on a lesion that he was playing, but he wasn't really able to do too much in the back. I'm not sure if he was able to use any of his goo mines. Scyther on the Comfy. Drone destroyed, but Scyther will find another one on Jonas. Shot to with a refrag on Scyther with the 3v2, but Karjeka is still in and alive and low on HP. Boonsy and Shate last 2 alive. Boonsy can be happy that he can at least eliminate Karjeka easily with his smoke. But if the Maestro's lost, this can really deal damage. Boonsy with 1 and Shate for the other. Karjeka's on his own with low HP. Zissou are looking great for this round. Mistakes have been made, and the goo mines will make it even more difficult. Are there more for Karjeka to walk into? If only had the diffuser. God. Can somebody put the Benny Hill music on top of this?
This is really unfortunate for Karjeka. He's got full control of the site, but no diffuser. At this, wait, Zissou just taking stock here.
That's hilarious. It's actually hilarious.
They're a little paranoid, of course, because they don't want to let Karjeka clutch this, but
if he does, I swear to God.
He's got 3 stuns at least to help, but 15 seconds to try and actually make a plant out of it.
Go for the stun. He's unsure where his opponents are, and the shotgun is right into him. Karjeka still finds Boonsy, but trade.
Well,
got way too close to it.
So Zissou's strategy that round? Just roam. Just roam everyone. Throw multiple people upstairs. Delay as long as possible. I mean, the guy on the catwalk not doing a whole lot, but at the end of the day, kept him busy. But just the sheer amount of trades that kind of came in Zissou's favor towards the middle of that round there actually working out for them. That was a heck of a round, though, and one where I think Empire just weren't as prepared to completely defend each other once they started losing that. And that's what I was saying earlier is when Empire starts losing some players, they actually start to lose a lot of their strength in terms of they really play off of their numbers advantage in terms of covering each other. So if you can pick off a couple of them, winning against Empire becomes much, much more doable because they can't cover for each other as well. And that's what Zissou played off of that round. But now they've got to go to Cash. This is where they're going to struggle because they can't do the same defense. I'd be interested to see if they roam a bunch of people downstairs to try and go for flanks or something. I mean, obviously, you're not going to climb up Oil Pit or anything like that, but still, I mean, playing everyone on site really did not work out for Zissou last time. Obviously, Eunice is going to have to be even more careful. Trying to vault out the window while they're blowing the wall open wasn't the smartest play.
Chat is setting up his evil eyes here, and I'm sure we can talk about not the smartest plays all day, every day.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Zissou will go on and run with their traditional SimCity, aka your pre-round setup round, and in the site. So they're setting up his Claymore for any eventual runouts. Haven't really seen many of those, but Eunice's kill in the previous round early on really helped Zissou at least gain an advantage into it. It's just these gunfights that have been won by Scyther specifically for Empire.
Yeah.
Have not been helping.
Eunice dies first the first 2 rounds and they lose. He gets the kill instead first and then they win. It's interesting.
That's it. You've broken it.
Crack Da Vinci's code.
Crack Dostoevsky's code.
Yeah. Well, what a super. That's not it, Chief. Poor Eunice.
You try when you try your best and you don't succeed.
Stop.
No. keep going at it.
Okay.
Bunsi will find one in Karajeka, and he will continue going at it. Not for long. It's Scyther for one. Shate on the run out will find Scyther. Dan along the outside here of the site, and he just keeps on firing as he hears Shate screaming in the back. Fortunately, no angle on Sleben. Lesion has been identified, and now it's up to the Maestro. In the back, Joystick with a pre-fire into the wall. You know it, Shate had no time to move. Goo Mines will be eliminated. Joystick going around and taking his time. Shepard will open up the wall, and Dan on to Gomfi. A second for Dan, possibly. Goes in for the 1v1 fight, but Sleben has already been detected. The site is open. Joystick coming in from the back. Sleben is a half HP, and he has the potential to clutch the round. He'll find Joystick. The reload of the T5. Shepard last alive. This round is really slipping away from the Russians. Sisu. Close. There's Nanotoxin. Still one Goo Mine available, and Sleben is unable to find an angle. This is all perfectly held here by Shepard. He hits the headshot. Sleben goes down. And Empire reclaim lost territory. No revolution for you here, my friend.
One thing that is kind of working out for Zissou, though, sometimes is the aggression. It's something that I remember, like at the beginning of I can't remember this season. I think it was last season. Just playing, they were playing very aggressive defenses. I think against G2 it was on Consulate, and just they're flexible, aggressive kind of defensive, like where they just reposition quickly, take peeks, things like that. Seems to be one of the few things that does kind of work out sometimes for Zissou. Didn't work out that round though, just due to the lost fight there. I mean, I appreciate what the Legion was trying to do of Sleben, but at the end of the day, Shepard hits his shots. Definitely one of the most clutch players on Empire in a lot of situations. I'm not surprised to see him come out ahead in that. But that did get very close, and Zissou have shown they have some potential here. Again, if they can get some of those picks, those early picks on the Empire, and some of those have to be very aggressive plays, it can work. Shepard there with 6, Dan with 5, 4 on Scyther as well. And no one on Zissou yet to hit 4, just 3s across half the board there. So
that round got too close, and I really have to say, I'm unsure if this is cockiness that's turning it to this level or not.
For Empire?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's just sometimes Zissou are just doing unexpected things that Empire aren't set up for, and then they tend to have that snowball effect. Once they lose a few people, due to that, they start to become a lot more vulnerable. That being said, though, they also have plenty of clutch potential, and they didn't used to be such a clutch team. They would get in a lot of situations, a lot of times when they'd be down, they would just lose. But they have become a lot better at clutching things out over the last season or so. And showing that, for example, Shepard is oftentimes part of that. Eunice hopefully will not risk his life so needlessly this round, as 3 rounds in a row he was the first to die. Well, not in a row, 3 rounds almost in a row. 3 out of 4 though. It's not a great record for Eunice. Bootsy already taking a bit of damage as well here. They are going to set up to open this up yet again. No problem there, I imagine.
Don't blow up.
He's already running away.
Good.
Man. He's being smart about it.
Ball's been opened up, and Dan on the same position. Again, you're going to look at Empire and see all that they're doing, and like, this seems like a bit of deja vu, which, in that case, you would not be wrong in assuming so. However, every single round, Empire is just doing the same thing, and that's what they usually do. They don't reinvent the wheel. They're just really good at driving.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
I was scared for you where you were going with that, but it worked out.
For once. Joystick's going to walk on in from behind his opponents, and
he's taking a bit of damage, though. So he's definitely not in as pristine condition as he would like, but they're getting the setups that they want to do, and he's getting the tracking he wants to get tracking on. And in terms of, like, pinning Sleben down a little bit. You saw last time when Shate just died almost instantly from the ping. So these pings are definitely helping, but right now they're not necessarily in positions where they have the angles to do anything with it. Dan's just very reliable on holding that hole, I tell you what.
Tell you what there, brother.
Yeah.
He definitely is. Gotta check out holding potential moves into construction. As you've seen Bootsy getting a bit ballsy here. Just moved from cash, but he'll be taken down pretty low. Jonas should be moving in close here. Maybe Shepard is watching out for an opening into that B site, and the wall is going to get opened by the Habana first. Should be the only time you'll see the Habana doing the work here. Dan moves up close. He finds one kill close to the second, but Yunus is alive at full HP, and he turns around and finds Dan. Smoke is thrown away. Gofi eliminated. Shate low on HP as well on the Maestro, and there is one bit of spawning. It's already been used by the Jackal. What a move from Yunus. He finds one. The Nitro Cell does not connect. He's still down on the floor, and the edge of his foot has not been spotted just yet. He's down on the floor. Yunus with one more. Shepard on the refrag. He's going to go and pick up Scyther. 10 seconds left. It's up to the last two players here of Team Empire. Slebin will find Scyther. Shepard yet again, the last man alive. Not for long. Slebin dies out the window and back again. Ducking and weaving between Empire, and might I just say, Yunus might have just saved the entire...
Again, it's the peaks. It's the peaks and the just random plays that are the only things catching him off guard. I mean, yes, maybe Dan overextended himself a little and didn't realize there was like 3 people to deal with at the top of Cash Stairs. But at the same time, he did at least get one. Sisu just... Yunus like, I'm still alive this late into the round. What do I do now? You know, at that point. But well played by him in terms of peeking it out. It was unfortunate he couldn't finish his kill right away, but that really left them distracted and trying to pick him up, and they did not exactly see where he went in terms of going prone. So smart play by him. Definitely his best round outside of the other one where he managed to get the first kill. But again, back to church we go. No Jim coming out from Zissou as they're, well, just not winning enough rounds to go back there yet, or at least not consistently enough. So maybe they'll have a chance here. Slevin definitely showed up that round as well, and he's up to 5 kills now. So this could actually tie into the second half if they're able to defend Church successfully, as they have done. So far, they're only able to win when they defend a site 2 times in a row. So we had Cash, they lost, so they switched to Church, defended it successfully the second time. Switched to Cash, defended it successfully the second time. So if that pattern continues, then they lose this round, because this is their first.
5 seconds remaining.
2 rounds on defense on Clubhouse is definitely not great. 3 is the minimum you're looking for. 4 is usually a good spot to be in. Because now you go for the second half, Empire on the defense. If you can't shut down someone like Joystick on the roam, you're a goner.
Well, last time they successfully defended this, it was all about that huge upstairs presence, 5 people off-site. Empire should be a bit better prepared for that this time. Because that was the big play that made Sisu work that one round. It was just delaying everyone, shutting down a few of the attackers kind of trying to entry. It doesn't look like they're going for that as strongly this time. We see, for example, Gonfi kind of hanging out upstairs. But it doesn't look like he has a ton of support, so he's going to have to just delay as long as possible. Although we do see some people on the second floor as well, I believe. But Joystick's going to be able to start getting some tracking pretty soon.
They literally do the same thing every single round. Katajeka will find 1 kill and Joystick to head. Jonas eliminated. It looks like your predictions are about to come true, Devin. Oh, and here's another for Joystick as he flicks onto Shate. I don't know why they keep up this whole roam play. What are you doing?
He's just going to walk down the stairs of death.
And another one. Oh, Joystick, the flawless round.
He just kept walking.
What?
It was a shooting gallery.
But great round of T-Hunt.
That was a T-Hunt round for Joystick, who didn't even need to pick up a footprint because the people were dying faster than he could get their footprints. What a round for Joystick. So walking on, just a little parade. Wow, those stairs. Hey, you know what we should do, guys? We should all keep peeking up the stairs and have the slowest reaction time possible.
One of us is going to win it.
Gotta be. He can't take us all out. He was shooting the floor and still flicked over to you.
That's where you're wrong, kiddo.
Right. Oh, my goodness. What a round. 4-2, though. So Zissou have put some rounds on the board, and side switch now could work out. His Empire, they're very strong on attack, but sometimes their defenses aren't as strong, but you never know. They're going to go for Cash first. See how they go there. They got the Kaed for that to try and maybe trick it. I mean, you've got the Thatcher to worry about here, so I don't know. The Thatcher and the Bandit. So, I mean, I'm assuming they're going to go for the Bandit first. Maybe try and Bandit trick it to burn off 2 Thatchers if they can, and then they can Electroclaw it to try and burn off more, but I don't know. It's tricky, and then they can come from below. Zissou, though, not bringing a buck or anything to be able to attack from below, but the Zofia or the Ash might work just fine in terms of trying to take out the batteries that way so you don't have to waste the EMP. And ideally, that would be the way to go, to make sure that if it was a utility race, that Empire would not win it. That slug shotgun, not always the greatest for wall destruction. He tries though. There you go. Much better that time.
That's a lot of rounds expended in the TCSG.
I know, he's only got 16 left total. But he's got the ACOG pistol with, you know, 50 rounds. He'll be fine. This is up close already for Eunice. Trying to get himself killed right away again, maybe? Or just putting pressure on the bandit. They are going to start to set things up here. Thatcher trying to do his thing. This is going to be down to timing and whether or not Empire want to overplay their ability to deny. See how long they can keep this up here. Looks like they might be getting going here, though. I doubt Electric Claw is going to be enough to stop it, and wall comes open. So despite having 2 denial operators there, they are unable to stop it from being open.
Oh, no.
Timing, but Joystick, he's done this before.
This is such an old strategy, to be honest. The strategy here from Sisu is as we used to see in the past. Open up the top with Habana and then see what you can do. Gomfi taking a lot of damage here, and Karjeka running the dock just means that he can survive and keep it up. I know, Maestro, great operator, probably one of the best operators in the game right now, but in that specific position with the catwalk, the dock ends up just really ruling supreme. Jonas with a nice shot onto Joystick, but Dan with a refrag onto Slebin. The Ash just not really given any information.
He's carrying 3 batteries in his pocket, too.
What do you need batteries? You got bullets,
It's
man.
just funny, like, he really wasn't able to do a whole lot with the tricking.
Again, you have bullets.
Bullets.
You see.
Oh, here we go. Almost in 2 different fights now. Eunice, though, with a freebie.
And he finds it, turns around for one more! Jonas, the shooting gallery! With a fin, Karjeka on Dabunsi. Jonas moves in closely. And Shepard is watching the angle as he's right on top of a table. A lot of cash down below. He's looking for the cash money shot. No information has been given yet. His ADSs are catching off any utility. Oh, Shate wins the fight. Shepard on 1. But Jonas come in and get the frag, man.
Is that a 4K for Eunice?
Yeah.
Wow. Very impressive. So far looking...
Finally, thank you, Jonas.
Yeah, no, after some really poor rounds from him.
A lot of roasting.
Makes up for it that round. See if we can keep that up, but... Like I said, the defenses for Empire aren't always as strong as their attacks, although maybe that isn't backed up statistically. That might just be an opinion, but they are definitely not off to a good start, as now it's getting close to a potential tie again. We'll see. They're going to try cash one more time. Shepard again going to bring out the Kaed. See, I mean, this is not really going to do a whole lot if you're not able to really trick against the Thatcher.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
I guess he got some mileage out of the gun, and he's going to maybe use it to try and deny the wall from Connector, I suppose. You know, that's part of his job, but the batteries themselves from Dan didn't end up really doing a lot for them. I mean, he ended up with 3 in his pocket. We'll see if Joystick's able to live a little bit longer this time. Last time he got caught off guard after making that peek out. Well, had he been able to finish his kill on the Gomfi, maybe he would have got a bit more mileage out of it. It would have been less of a big deal, but Gomfi's still at 0 kills. Not really showing up as much as we would expect so far this match. Out of 7 rounds, 6 deaths and 0. Not the best score line. Dan and Shepard, though, doing pretty well. Joystick trying to keep up with them as well. Again, he just needs to not die early like he did last round, giving Eunice that first taste of blood. Kind of helped his rampage.
Man, all he needs just, again, he's like a shark. Needs a bit of blood in the water when he smells it.
Mark's the most like a shark.
A bomb has been located.
Slubbing along the outside here, and this is something, again, it's an old strategy, and it does work out fairly often. It blocks any rotations, but there's not really many of them that happen anymore. But without having the Capital, that rotation is just not as strong. Because you need to force the player on the catwalk away.
Yeah.
However, because Capital is not here, because Empire banned him, this hole that's opened up by the Habana is just not as effective.
Still worth trying, though, if you have the utility to do it. Give yourself the ability, even sometimes late round, to be able to take advantage of that angle. Meantime, though, they are definitely going to get the wall open. It took them a little bit longer because they were going for it.
It opens up.
Yeah, not the best, Shepard. A little bit late on that. I appreciate the effort, though, this time, and tried to stop it.
Effort from Shepard.
Yeah. The Shepard. Ooh, spotted. looks like. And it's hard to tell exactly what he sees as we see the outline. But I imagine he saw Karjeka.
You should know that there's a dock in there.
Yeah.
Really. I like the play from joysticks, just watching anybody coming in from below. It's different to what we had in the previous round, where you saw more defense kind of huddling up close to the doorway here. But joystick will actually come back to this position. He's looking for a kill on Slebin. Slebin will turn around. He hasn't seen the head just yet, and joystick will fall back as Karjeka will boost him up to full HP. One more stim pistol shot available for the dog of Karjeka. Again, always being the beautiful nanny.
Ooh.
And trade-off between Dan and Jonas.
All right.
Banner for the Habana.
I mean, you got some use out of the Habana already. I'm not sure that really made a big difference either way, but Dan's a top fragger, so it's actually worked out in Eunice's favor. There we go.
Joystick, what a shot of the flick. Shepard with one more at TCSG, and Shate's on the floor. He's
Literally, this is...
He's the last alive, my man. There we go.
Yeah.
They realized it. Okay.
They're like, oh, he can just pick himself back up. Okay, then just finish the job.
Team Empire.
Yeah. Much better round for them that time. Definitely the early trade into Eunice wasn't really beneficial for Empire, but then the quick frags after that just started shutting them down, and Zissou just seemed a little bit lost after that, didn't really know how to pressure it because so many members of Empire left. What can you do? Church, the first time coming out from Empire here, as they did Cash the last two. And will they stick the Mozzie from Karjeka? He has been a very effective Mozzie, so it wouldn't surprise me in the least, as Shepard's going to be the one to 6 pick again over to the Kayed, but this time no Bandit in play from Dan. So that's just going to be there to help either deny the hatch or the church wall. Maybe a little bit of both. But he is very effective on the site because he can deny a bit and can even kind of trick down below in the in Moto by climbing on the boxes to kind of get an angle to pick your Electroclaw back up, which is one of the few places you can kind of trick it to an extent. Pretty useful there, and this is one of the first use cases, of course, people thought of is when it came to Kayed is, ooh, hatches on Oregon and Clubhouse.
Yep.
So.
It was so bad we deleted Oregon.
Yeah, you had to get rid of it completely
we just
after that.
Deleted it.
It's gone.
Boring. Joystick will set up his barbed wire and just walk on away and do as he does. It's very odd. He just floats around the map and does whatever he wants to do.
It generally works to an extent.
Oh, it really does. Karjeka might be in support here, and he's got a couple pests, but he's going to be chasing after the drones early on.
Karjeka and Joystick combined. Oh, Joystick taking a bit of damage there. When those two work together, though, I feel like they're very, very powerful.
Oh,
like,
look at Chate as well.
Ooh, that was good. Actually, favorable trade then for Joystick in terms of damage. Chate, though, hoping he comes back out. Joystick's just on cams at the moment. Not going to come out just yet. But if he tries to rotate, could get caught off guard. Boons to try and take advantage of the angle here onto the hallway for Kitchen. Just opening it up, making sure no one's rotating there. They've got to watch out for Joystick as long as he's alive, though. But Chate hopefully can get to a position where he can try and get Joystick's footprints. And that will really lock him down a lot more, force him to go into positions where he's not easily caught off guard. Slebin with a nice angle there down the stairs. Not going to get all the stairs freebies that Joystick got.
Jonas will come in with the X-Kairos, and this will mean a lot of tricking. He's looking out for the opposite angle, the one that is usually used by the Legion, and this impact grenade play. Flashbang is down, and actually will force the Legion back.
Well
Successful from Jonas.
That was good coordination there.
Did it open up? It did. Okay.
Yeah, Karjeka is going to hold it anyways, though. He expects him to peek it, and unfortunately doesn't hit the shot. C4, a little bit risky, but worth a shot, I suppose.
Not much damage done there, and Joystick is even lower on health now. He's got to be very careful of how he positions himself in blue.
Yeah, no dock this time.
Dan coming around, checking if there's anybody moving in by the tunnel. And indeed, there is no one. EMP thrown in. Boonsy and Jonas will put in their utility up by the wall. The Habana will open up the wall, and nope, the Tila will make sure that it will be opened.
Yeah, a little late there, unfortunately, but he did get some out with it. And Slebin, Joystick trades there. That is the Thermite down now, though.
Thermite had already done his job. That's one thing that you're happy about if you're Team Empire. There's nobody coming in from the blue stairs. Very odd. Impact grenade thrown out will do even more damage to both Shate and Yunus. Joystick will be picked back up at 20 HP here as he was dropped on the floor. And Dan watching for any crosses. There's 30 seconds left as Dan finds Slebin. Another one. Shepard. Gonfi on the refrag and Joystick. There's only about a delay as Gonfi fires in, but Dan, great control of the SMG. Leaving only Yunus alive with barely any HP. Literally can hit the wall and die. Now, nobody peeking by the black box. Jonas is on his own. He's going to be wasting time here. And a quick shot from Kajeka dispatches the Finn. Team Empire take round number 9.
Well, that puts it on match point. Guarantees GiFu is going to continue to sit at the bottom of the scoreboard as they cannot even get the 3 points now to try and help boost themselves up. So, Empire, though, still showing some weaknesses here. Some struggles against GiFu that I don't think they were expecting to see. Gym Bedroom coming out now as their 3rd bomb site. Obviously, they're not going to go down to bars. That's so unfavorable. But still, this could be possibly another round for GiFu to bring it up to 4. Because this is likely to be their weakest bomb site, but you never know how they play it. Could go, either way, I suppose. We'll see Karjeka, the one bringing the kite this time. So Shepard could be on the smoke. A little bit different defense. Dan going to be on the castle. No surprise to see a castle, of course, for this bomb site. It's pretty typical because it's very important to making sure you can hold Jim for as long as possible. You just got to watch out for connectors. Well, Dan and Shepard both in the double digits. No one quite there yet from GiFu. Just one player at 8. Got to say, though, at least Eunice has tried to pick it up since those first few rounds. He's definitely doing much better on attack than defense.
I think there's no question about that. And even on his defense, I mean, you start off with a couple of tricky rounds, but after he was able to find a return into form, it's just you're not looking at individual players here. You're looking at the whole team acting together. And GiFu got, in my opinion, 1 round off of team play. 2 others were off of individual play. And that's not really something, again, that you can rely on consistently. We'll see how they break through this. Might be the ultimate round here for the Finns. Empire are setting up, and they're putting a lot of utility up in cash. It's up to GiFu to figure out an opening into that, or maybe even completely change their game plan. We'll leave Kajeka in there. He's got electric claws, of course. I'm not sure if there's a wall opened up in construction to help. A lot of times that can be used. There's the suppressor used on the TCSG, which is an odd thing. And yes, the wall is opened up.
I like the entry coming out from Slebin in terms of getting in and getting some control underneath quickly. But it was a little bit slow in that he had to wait for a drone to start to do some more work for him. And because of that, now I think some of the advantage and surprise that he had is probably dwindling a little bit. But they are kind of focused on denying the entry now. So now is the opportunity for Slebin to get some serious flank going on. Not sure that he's going for it.
Electro Claw was brought out, and he hits it. Bunsi's dead. You can't really hear if he's inside or not still. And he keeps firing into the back. Detected. Does more damage to Slebin. So far, Kajeka, even if he dies, he's done more than enough. Impact grenade still in the back pocket, but Dan is holding on. He finds 1 kill, vaults out to the 2nd, and he finds it. Slebin with a headshot, take it away. Dan pulling out the pistol, even firing through the wall. Shepard finds the kill. Shate last alive on the Jackal. Man, that was just Empire collapsing onto GiFu. They saw the opening, and the flank was completely wide.
Defender has
And ready. Final shot from Dan will dispatch Shate in an anticlimactic finish to this matchup. Team Empire recover, and they win it out 7-3.
Well, important thing is, like I said, they did show some weaknesses there against GiFu, but GiFu at least wasn't a complete rollover or anything. It wasn't, 7-0 or anything. They still, though, are going to have a lot to work on to try and make it out of that 8th place spot that they seem pretty set on at the moment. They did show some improvements. Eunice managing to pick it up there, especially in the attack side. But just, I mean, that was a map they obviously hadn't played before in Pro League, and they were saving. But against Empire, it is difficult to win pretty much anything. So hopefully for GiFu, they're able to play Clubhouse again against a team that maybe they're able to get a bit more of an impact on.
I mean, next week there's some work to be done by how is it? Empire. They're playing against Na'Vi.
Well, it's twice now. They've 7-3'd on Clubhouse. So.
Is it next week? Sisu will have to play against Chaos, so it's going to be a pretty interesting matchup.
Well, we know Empire at least won't be playing Coastline or Clubhouse then next week's or next play day. So that'll be interesting to see what they end up on. But they pretty much have no bad maps for the most part. So.
Okay, our interview is ready. So let's head on over to Joystick. Dobry wieczór, Krasivoj. How are you this evening?
Yeah, we are fine. We won. That's why.
It wasn't as tight of a game as we expected it to be maybe in here. You guys, of course, progressed with extra 3 points, Joystick. But playing against Sisu on Clubhouse, how was it playing against them? Because it looked like Sisu was confusing you on their defensive side with their more erratic plays. How was it for you guys playing against them?
Yeah, they play more aggressive than usual, I think. They roam a lot. They go four guys roaming on top stairs, and I think we may push to the side, but we want to play safe. We want to play as usual and to go for a roamer, so it works. And yeah, but we was confused, yes.
Speaking of roam, your anti-roam play with the Jackal on that one specific round was very impressive, to say the least. Were you just expecting all of them to line up on the stairs? Was there any information given to you on the whereabouts of your opponents?
I have information about 2 guys, but I think that they will play aggressive, and that's why I'm waiting for the aggressive push and stay and holding an angle.
It definitely ended up working for you, and in that last round as well, you're playing on Cash. Was the whole dedication to just corner Sisu into Cash and see how they react to it? Or how is it planned out?
Yeah, we want to just go back a little bit and then push together with the Skyther from below. And yeah, Kajaka was solo and we want to help him, so yeah.
Worked out well. Again, congratulations on your matchup against Sisu. 7-3. Next week, you guys are playing against Na'Vi, so that's going to be a big storyline for all the CIS fans that are watching out there. Anything you'd like to say to them at the end of this playday?
Good luck to them. Good luck to all viewers, and thank you for the support. That's all.
All right. Thank you very much, Joystick.
Thanks.
Good night, and do swidania.
Yeah, good night, you too.